Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back. I hope your day is off to a fantastic start. It is another candle review day here on my channel, and that means that I will be releasing multiple reviews throughout the day. I have two candles from Kringle that are ready to be reviewed, so I'll be sharing those. The third review will be from Wicks. Now, these are all new fragrances for spring, summer 2024 from both companies. And if you are interested in more home fragrance reviews and you are not already subscribed, definitely hit that subscribe button right below this video. That'll notify you of any of my content as soon as it goes live. It should just pop up in your subscription feed. So yeah, anyway, you guys, we're gonna kick it off in this video here with a review of the Kringle Country Candle Lemon Tea and Roses. And this one here is, so it's a great scent. I actually plan on repurchasing this in the wax melt formulation from Kringle. I am struggling a little bit with the performance of it when it comes to the wicks. This one is definitely an outlier from the other 5 candles that were released from the Country Candle line. If you're not familiar, Kringle did change out the wicks in the Country Candle soy candles to have a better burn overall. And I think that change was a really good one for basically all of the other fragrances, but for whatever reason, this one here, the wicks are kind of struggling a little bit. So yeah, I will definitely get into that like overall burn quality towards the end of this video. But before I get into the description here, I do want to be upfront with you guys and let you know that this particular candle here was sent to me as PR. That means that I did not pay for it. I am an ambassador or an affiliate, if you will, with Kringle Candle, and that means that from time to time they will send out some candles that I can share my thoughts with you guys about. They also give me a discount code that I can pass along. Mine happens to be Melanie15. That'll save you 15% off at checkout, and it does work with a number of their sales. It doesn't work with every single sale, but it's always worth trying that out when you go to checkout to see if you can save yourself a little bit more money. Yeah, so I will put the information for where to shop with Kringle and the discount code in the description box down below, so feel free to check that out. But I did want to let you guys know that I did not pay for this one. Okay, let's get started with the scent description, and then we'll go through the fragrance notes and then talk strength and throw. And then let's get into the little burn issue that I'm having with this one. All right, lemon, tea, and roses. Allow the refreshing symphony of grapefruit, green tea, and bergamot to take you on a fragrant journey where the elegance of jasmine and violets mingles with the herbal charm of basil and mint, all resting on a soothing base of moss, amber, sandalwood, and musk, creating a beautifully balanced blend that inspires both invigoration and tranquility. That sounds nice, right? Sounds very peaceful, just very like calming, soothing, and I will definitely agree with that part of the scent description for sure. The top notes here are lemon, grapefruit, bergamot, and green. The mid notes are jasmine, violet, basil, mint, and rose, and the base is moss, amber, sandalwood, and musk. All right, so what does my nose pick up in this one? When I first stuck my nose in this on cold sniff, I smelled more of what I would consider maybe like a black tea type of note, maybe like similar to like the Lipton lemon iced tea type of note, but that did change once I lit this up. The lemon definitely stuck around. This is a very citrus forward fragrance, so make sure that you enjoy those citrus notes. They're quite noticeable here. But I really think that now that I have burned this to the halfway point here, it really does come across as more of like a green tea, like a lighter type of tea note, but it is still very much a tea scented candle, if you will. But The addition of the lemon, which I very much detect in here. I also pick up that bergamot, and I do get a touch of that green in terms of those top notes. I don't smell any grapefruit. I would be curious to see if you have picked this up either in this large candle format or the medium, or if you picked up any of the daylights or the wax melts. I'd be curious to see if anybody else detects the grapefruit. I actually asked Stella, and she seems to think that there is some grapefruit in here. My girl has a pretty good nose. Stella, by the way, if you're new here, is my 12-year-old daughter, and she has experienced home fragrance her entire life. So sometimes we'll just kind of sit and talk about, you know, like candle smells and stuff. And she definitely feels like there is some grapefruit in here, but to my nose, I don't get any grapefruit. The mid notes, those feel, oh, hold please. We have, all right, you guys, I'm really sorry about that little barking interruption there. It was actually a delivery of more candles that I recently purchased, so yay. More home fragrance content on the way. I believe that I was talking about the mid notes here. So let's get back to the jasmine, the violet, the basil, the mint, and the rose. If you've watched a lot of my home fragrance reviews in the past, you know that one of the fragrance notes that I don't really personally care for is mint. And I'm happy to report that my nose does not really pick up any mint in here at all. But I do very much, now that I've burned it, pick up that basil note. And I think basil was the perfect herbal choice for this particular blend. It's so lovely in here. I am a huge fan of basil, and this summer, I've never really done this, but I want to plant like a little herb garden. Craig and I do a lot of like caprese salads throughout the summer months, and buying basil every single week got kind of expensive last summer. So I think I'd like to try just growing it. It seems like a pretty easy herb to grow, and I love the smell of it. I just find basil to be really relaxing and calming. So I pick up a healthy dose of that basil in here. And I do also get a touch of jasmine. The jasmine is a very light, white, clean type of jasmine note. I think it adds a little bit more femininity to the fragrance here. I don't pick up violet, but let's talk about the rose. The rose, I think, is definitely the most prominent floral note in here. It's a really well done rose. It doesn't smell like a really old-fashioned, like Victorian type of rose. It's a little bit more modern, maybe more like even like a tea rose type of note, but it blends really well with that basil as well as that lemon as like the predominant notes in here. It's really, I think, the perfect choice to pair with those other notes. In terms of the base notes of the moss, the amber, the sandalwood, and the musk, I have to admit that I don't really feel like amber is something that I detect in here, and I'm a huge lover of amber myself. I don't get any sandalwood. I don't even get any of that like musky type note, and moss either. I think the green that I am smelling in here is, to my nose, predominantly that basil. Like, it's not the mint, it's not the quote-unquote green that's in the top notes, and it's not that moss that's in the base notes here. It's really just that basil that I'm picking up. The musk, this is one of those cases where I think Kringle added the musk as a like supporting element and not something that you know, kind of stands out on its own. For example, with the Country Candle Cake Pops fragrance, that's a gourmand. That is a case where the actual like sweet kind of musk type note is very noticeable to my nose, and it stands out on its own. It totally works in that particular scent despite it being a gourmand. You wouldn't normally think to pair a musk with a gourmand, but it really works in that particular one. But here I think the musk just kind of plays a supporting role for all of the other fragrances. So predominantly what this fragrance smells like to me is a tea fragrance with a healthy dose of lemon and rose with a really beautiful herbal basil kind of floating around in the background of all of it. That's kind of predominantly what I get from this one, and I really like it a lot. I think this is a fantastic fragrance. It's a little bit different from what I normally gravitate towards, and I've had this one burning for most of this week. We had a little stretch of nice weather here in Oregon where it got up to like 75 degrees. I had all the windows open in the house, and I just wanted like some really great fresh fragrances. So I opted for this, and a couple of the other Kringle fragrances like Coral was also going around, and it was just, everything just smelled so fresh and clean in here. If you're looking for a fragrance to maybe take a break from your heavier gourmands, or if you're looking to take a break from a lot of the typical fruity scents that are available this time of year, I think this would be a great way to do it. It is really pleasant. Nobody that has come to our house when this one has been burning has said that it's offensive in any kind of way. My friends are really honest with me, and I have had a few scents here and there where people have been like, I don't really care for that one. But this one here has been a hit so far with a lot of people, and I really enjoy it. So yeah, thumbs up on the fragrance overall. I like it a lot, and I will repurchase it, but probably not in the candle format until they fix the wicks. But first, let's discuss the strength and throw, because I think the strength and throw are definitely being affected a little bit by these wicks. So the strength of this one is a little lower than the other country candles that I've been burning for sure. The strength of this I would only put at like about a 5, 5.5, not even a 6. It does a little bit better when I have it in a hurricane or a candle sleeve, which is what you're seeing here. If I don't have either a hurricane or a sleeve to utilize with this particular one, the strength and throw is diminished, which is really too bad because it is such a great one. So if you have any of those accessories, definitely utilize them with this one if you've already ordered it. I do think that it helps amp up the strength and throw just a little bit. The throw I would put at more of like, I can smell it in the areas where I'm burning it, right? And I think having that really nice spring breeze going through the house sort of helped to carry the fragrance a little bit more throughout this week. So I put the throw at around between like a 5 and a 6 as well. But it could definitely be improved, I think. And the reason I think there's room for improvement is I don't know what happened with these particular wicks. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this candle to the side here so that you guys can kind of see what's happening. So now this did not happen for the first couple burns. The first couple burns were actually really great. These are not wicks that I have been trimming at all, either on the ones that have been performing really well with the new wicks or this one. I've basically just lit it and go, and it's been fine. But once I got about, I would say, a quarter of the way into the candle, I noticed that the flames were getting really low. And it got to the point where I was actually wondering, like, did someone trim these wicks? What's happening here? Because this is, again, nothing that has happened with the other 5 releases for the spring and summer this year. So something's going on here, either with the wicks or with the wax or the combination or the interaction between the two. But those are really, really low wicks. Let's take an overhead view here so that you guys can see just how small they are. Like, those are tiny, right? And I do think that that is the reason why I am struggling so much in terms of strength and throw with this one. There's not enough flameage, if you will. I don't know if flameage is a word, but it is now. I don't know that there's a strong enough flame here to be able to really project the fragrance the way that it should be projected. You can see I still have a decent wax pool, right? Like, there's about an inch wax pool there. But the only reason that I have that is because I have that particular candle sleeve over top. By the way, I will link where you can get a candle sleeve exactly like this in the description box below this video as well. These are really handy if you don't want to deal with like a whole hurricane situation. Check the description box for that. I also utilize this particular one with a lot of my Homeworks 3-wick candles as well. So it does not work, however, if you have for example, the Homeworks 4-wick candles, it doesn't fit over those. So maybe you want to like size up if you are looking to be able to use this particular candle sleeve with a wider style of jar. But because I am holding in the heat from the minimal amount of flames that I have here, it is still giving me a decent wax pool, but it's not very hot. I mean, you saw me like touching the top of this jar. With the other ones, it's actually quite difficult for me to even like put my hands in there to show you guys like the sooting factor, which by the way, I will, yeah, see, it's not super hot, but I just want to show you guys that despite all this, it's still a really clean burn so far. Like I really don't detect very much soot at all, if any. I think for the most part, the burn is pretty great regarding that, but I need higher flames. I just don't think that this one is going to perform the way that most people want it to with these particular wicks. So I can't in good conscience say, yes, definitely for sure go out and get this. I do know there was one other person in one of the Kringle Facebook groups, I believe it was Amy actually, who mentioned that her candle was doing the same thing. So if you bought this one and you have gotten it to the point that I have, will you let us all know in the comments down below what your experience is with the burn quality here? I'm just really kind of starting to think that something went wrong with this one. So that being said, I will still repurchase this fragrance, but for this year, until there is like a reformulation of this one, I think what I'm going to do is just purchase the wax melts. It is really perfect for spring and summer. And like I said, if you're looking for something to kind of change it up a little bit from your usual fruits, gourmands, or you know, maybe some of your other fresh scents, this is a great option, you guys. Check it out in the daylights, check it out in the wax melts, just to be able to experience it. And then I'm gonna pass my feedback personally along to Kringle and let them know that I had an issue with this one. I highly encourage you to leave reviews on the Kringle website. If there's one thing that I really appreciate about, how many times can I say Kringle? Kringle as a company is that they are very open to feedback. They don't shy away from that, and they really try hard to make an effort to fix things when they're, you know, going wrong. So give them your feedback. Obviously be constructive. Don't be rude. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's not my place to tell people to not be rude, but I just think your feedback will go a lot further if you're constructive with the feedback. So anyway, all that being said, I'm still gonna give this one not 2 thumbs up, because obviously the performance isn't super great, but I'm still gonna give it a thumbs up for the fragrance itself. This particular one I think is my favorite like lemon tea type scent that I have come across from any company, and that's including the London tea from Bath and Body Works. This one here is just really, really nice and enjoyable, and it's just refreshing. Not overly sweet, not overly floral, not overly lemony. It's just the perfect balance of all those things. So anyway, I hope that that was helpful. Definitely let me know your experience, like I said, in the comments down below. I appreciate you guys being here. And again, if you're not subscribed already, please do so with that little subscribe button right below this video. And don't forget to give this video a big fat thumbs up if you found it helpful. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.